Welcome back to Chaos Corner. It's your old buddy, the guardian of chaos, Big Daddy. And I tell it like it is. I'll say that to say this. Coming to you live to tape, 25 feet below the surface of the earth. Here at Chaos Corner, fans, we're here on an unbelievable weekend. It's a Memorial Day weekend. I want to send out a big shout out and, of course, a greetings and in remembrance for all those who have fought for this country here on Memorial Day weekend. Let's not lose sight that those that fought for our freedoms to be here in the United States of America. And I salute all our military veterans and for those that are currently serving around the globe for the United States of America. And in this time, in this day and age, here on 2023, with wars and rumors of wars, we're being invaded with inflation, with division, and everything else that's going on in this country, including the planet. Stay close to your family and friends. Thank you for being here on Chaos Corner. I am here as a stress reliever for you, and of course, for me, your old buddy, the N.O.C. In order to get respect, you have to start with respecting yourself. Once you do that, you open other people's minds to respecting to you. And as I always say, there's three types of people in this world. Those who don't know what happened, those who wonder what happened, and people like the guardian of chaos, Big Daddy, that make things happen. Now, fans, stay close to your family and friends. Give credit to the one person that made it, and the one spirit, and the one human flesh spirit that made it all possible for all of us, who paid the price for our sins. And that's our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So now that I've gotten that out of the way, because it is the most important, along with your family and friends, you never know what's going to happen. Tomorrow is not guaranteed for anyone. So stay aware, stay prepared. Let's get on to what we're here for, and that would be the Night of Champions and our preview of AEW Double or Nothing. Fans, you're not going to want to miss it. I'm going to bounce off all over social media platforms right now, and you know what they are. Here, Guardian of Chaos on the YouTube channel. Follow me on Facebook. There's 2 accounts. J Brony. That's right, you get to play on words. Jabroni, J Brony. And Prodigio Fidelis El Guardian, in honor of my heritage. Follow me on Instagram at the Guardian of Chaos. And of course, in real time on Twitter, at Big Daddy GOC, and the GOC stands for the Guardian of Chaos. Follow me on Gitter, Gab, Truth Social, Rumble. I cover it all in the IWC. All right, geeks, nerds, one man, unique, unedited, unscripted, raw dog. This is reality TV, pro wrestling, sports entertainment, whatever it is that you want to call it. No paywalls, no Patreon, no super chats. I do this out of motivation and passion. You can hear it, you can see it, you can feel it, right? My over 50 years as a fan, a scout, an agent, a historian, a smart, a mark. That's right, I said it, a mark. In my over 3 decades involved in the pro wrestling business as a pro wrestling manager, and currently this day at my home down at Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling on all social media platforms. Now, fans, I'm going to give a quick review of the WWE pay-per-view that went on today over in Saudi Arabia. And that would be the Night of Champions. Although here in the United States, it was the afternoon of Champions. What is it now? It's about 6 p.m., maybe 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the greater tri-state, New England Northeast area. And what a shithole that is. Well, I'm not here to cuss. I don't have to cuss to get myself over. But that's what we're going to do here. So kick back, relax, grab a cold beverage, grab a snack, just sit out on the deck, go by the beach, do whatever it is that you want to do. But stay here on Chaos Corner, Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel. Hit the like button. Get us in the algorithm. We don't want any copyright strikes. Leave a comment, inbox me, email me. Fans, that's what it's all about. Once we give a quick results, it's not really going to be a review. It's going to be the results from Night of Champions today for the WWE. And then I will get into a quick preview of AEW Double or Nothing tomorrow night in Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena. This will be the 5th annual Double or Nothing, and it's going to be a long one. There's about 10 matches, including the buy-in, so we'll get on to that. And again, thanks, guys, for being here. You can see that we have some nice, relaxing, tropical sounds here at Chaos Corner. There's nobody using the kickboxing room or the mixed martial arts. The offices upstairs are empty. There's nobody in the lounge, although I will say, I think they're having a couple of beverages out on the Chaos Corner deck. The veranda, if you will. So I'm not going to have any cocktails. I'm going to definitely go with no Red Bull. I had a Monster earlier, but a little Sprite Zero. Here's to you, Corny, since a lot of my fans here on the channel from the analytics, if you go back and check out my almost 2,000 videos here on Guardian of Chaos YouTube, you'll see that most of my fans also watch Story Time with Dutch Mantel and the Jim Cornette Experience. I don't know what that says and what kind of company I'm in. And of course, you know, I just got finished moderating for Off the Script and JD from New York, the #1 fucking podcast on YouTube. And then there's my boy, the OG of the internet, and that would be one Don Tony. And don't miss the Sit Down with the Don. And of course, there's the Chi-Town Smark, heel Jesse, over on his channel. My boys over at the Wrestling Council, Comic Book Bob in Hollywood. Of course, the PWZ and the Professor Rick Del Santo. Even my old buddy Don Kincaid over at the Kincaid Files. There's a lot to be said. And there's a lot of information going out there. There's a lot of people that I follow and get some input from. So again, kick back and relax. Here's to you, Corny. A mini. That's what I heard about you, Cornette. I've seen you in the locker rooms. I didn't see you in the shower. I'm going to keep this rated PG, but here's a mini Sprite Zero for Jim Cornette here on Chaos Corner. The opening monologue. Hey, listen, it's Memorial Day weekend. You had Impact last night, Rampage, a SmackDown. You have, today you had the Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. Tomorrow you have AEW Double or Nothing. And at the same time, on the same day, although I think it's earlier in the afternoon, WWE has an NXT event tomorrow as well. So chin chin to all that. I don't usually drink soda, but when I do, it's a Sprite Zero. All right, fans, let's get down to class in session. I'm going to give you some quick results that we just got finished watching and wrapping up over on the network, you know, Peacock. We want to give you the results because that's what we're here for. And again, it was very interesting to sit there and go over. First, I want to recognize this before we get into the results. Today, on May 27th, 2023, is 1,000 days that Roman Reigns has been the WWE Champion. He is now in 5th place all time, and I believe there's only been 5 champions in the history of the World Wrestling Entertainment, World Wrestling Federation, that have ever held the championship, the belt, the title, the strap, if you will, more than 1,000 days. Reigns today is at 1,000. So by the time we get to Monday Night Raw in 2 nights, it'll be 1,002 days for the current champion. The Tribal Chief, the head of the table, the Samoan Dynasty, the Bloodline, Roman Reigns. In front of Roman at number 4 is the Latin sensation, Hall of Famer and legend, Pedro Morales at 1,027 days. So Roman Reigns is less than a month away, 20-something days away from taking the number 4 spot from the Latin sensation, Pedro Morales, who I believe his title reign was in 1973. In the number 3rd spot, at 1,237 days, is the second reign of the former living legend, Bruno Sammartino. Let that sink in. Think about that. I was going to say think about and let at the same time. You could see that here if you're a little tongue-tied like I am. So that's the 3rd most in WWE history, 1,237 days, and that was Bruno's second reign. Number 2 on the list for longest reigns in title history for the Worldwide Wrestling Federation is Bob Backlund, the All-American, who turned out to be a loon and a nut job, but I still love you, Backlund. 2,135 days as the heavyweight champion. You see how that just fell off? Is that perfect timing? Is that apropos here on Chaos Corner for the number 2 spot in Bob Backlund? 2,135 days. And at number 1, and we all know this, the Hall of Famer, the living legend, the late, great Bruno Sammartino, who I had the honor and pleasure and blessing to take over as commissioner for Bruno back in 1999. And I was commissioner there afterwards for 20 years, perhaps the longest in pro wrestling industry. If we look at the books and the facts and the analytics, do your research. Bruno Sammartino, number 1 at 2,803 days. Let that marinate. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Do the research on that for Bruno to have the title for 2,803 days. I believe Bruno's first reign was in 1972 or thereabouts, 73. I want to get my facts straight. That's when I was a young boy into my teenage years. And Bruno's second reign, perhaps 1977, 78. This is just off the top of my head. You know I do my due diligence. So those are your champions. That's where Roman Reigns is in the history of the WWE. So let me get on to the results. I do have the lineup here for Double or Nothing. Here we go. We're going to cover Night of the Champions from Saudi Arabia. And again, this just happened today. I want to upload this to you fans. Have time to sink it in. Watch it tonight because everybody and their brother over this weekend is doing their podcasts and live. And I do it live to tape. When everyone else is off the air and we get all the information in, that's when Chaos Corner hits the airwaves. All right, fans. And again, NXT Battleground tomorrow on the same day. Here we go with the results in no particular order, okay? But I find it odd that the WWE over there in Saudi Arabia opened up with Seth freaking Rollins against the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, for the new, old new Tier 3 heavyweight title. What does that say to your fans? The bottom line is, in an unbelievable match, it really was a solid match. 2 great performers, well earned by Rollins. Seth freaking Rollins is your new World Heavyweight Champion. It was the opening match in Saudi Arabia. That tells me where it lies and how important it is. I mean, there's 3 heavyweight titles in the WWE. Again, a solid match. Seth Rollins over AJ Styles as your 3rd heavyweight champion in the WWE. Now, moving forward, I don't know what they're going to do with the Universal Championship, Raw, SmackDown, however they do this. We know that Roman Reigns right now is the undisputed Universal Champion, but now this is just like a participation trophy, a runner-up. That's just my opinion coming from me and my experience. I get it. The old man brand, the over 50 demo god. Fans, listen to what I'm saying. I do it all here, not only the independent pro wrestling scene, but I cover the WWE, AEW, New Japan, Ring of Honor, Impact. There isn't anything, even MLW, the NWA, and of course my home at Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. If you don't go back and look at the channel and see what I'm doing here and the results of the history and the book reviews, the live-to-tape watch-alongs, this is what you get here on this channel. I bring you into my castle. Put a face to the product, someone who's been in there and took the bumps and isn't speaking out of his ass and doesn't know his ass from his elbow as a journalist or somebody sitting on the other side of the gate. You understand what I'm talking about, who hasn't walked that aisle. I just want to add that credence and legitimacy to it. So here, let me get on to the results. Again, Seth freaking Rollins is your new heavyweight champion. Take it for what it's worth, and it was a solid match. Trish Stratus, Hall of Famer Trish Stratus, over Becky Lynch in a match in the women's division. A little help from Zoe Starks for Trish Stratus. Now, how much longer the legend is going to keep going? I'm really not a huge fan of Becky Lynch. She's a hard worker. She's a talented lady. Both these ladies, especially Trish, is a Hall of Famer. But what are we doing here? I'm not here to bitch and moan and complain, but I'm telling it like it is. I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly of Night of Champions. So your winner, Trish Stratus over Becky. And again, heel Trish, I do like it. Okay, where does it leave Becky Lynch? It's nice to see her not being so prideful, that she's humble enough to do the job for Trish, and it should be vice versa, because Trish is the Hall of Famer. I mean, let's face it. And again, where will Zoe Starks fit in moving forward? We'll find out on Monday Night Raw on the fallout of what's going to happen here. For the Intercontinental Championship, again, these are in no particular order. Mustafa Ali, who's actually from Chicago, but he gets quite the pop over there in the Middle East, and he is one heck of a talent, although they've really never used him the right way, and he certainly had no chance in hell, according to Vince McMahon, against Gunther, the Intercontinental Champion, who has put some credibility and legitimacy to that Intercontinental title. The transformation of Gunther from NXT UK to where he is now in Imperium, one of my favorite workers that I respect and admire his style inside the ring. And that's what pro wrestling's supposed to be about. And that's what a pro wrestler's supposed to look like and carry himself and present himself and how you're supposed to work. Gunther, Walter, whatever you want to call him, whatever I'm going to say. Unbelievable. Defends the IC title. And again, another solid bout. This wasn't a horrible pay-per-view where they have a lot of shenanigans and throwaway matches. It wasn't that bad. If I was going to do the usual scale of 0 to 10, I could see this getting a 6 or possibly a 7. I don't like some of the things and the way they went down, but we'll get on to that. And I might have to do this into 2 parts. Do the quick results and review of Night of Champions from the WWE in Saudi Arabia, and then jump into the AEW Double or Nothing preview coming up tomorrow night. So, again, a solid bout between Ali and Gunther. I just like saying Gunther. Do you blame me? Here's another one that I expected, but was a surprise, and everyone's butt hurt out in the IWC. All you shills, marks, virgins, geeks, neckbeards. No offense, man, not my audience. I mean, it's a joke, man. It's a work. Don't be offended. Don't be so sensitive. Konnichiwa, bitches. Asuka wins the Raw Women's title over the EST Bianca Belair, who I will say, and a lot of people have been complaining, this is my independent thought, has gotten a little stale. I don't want to use the word that a lot of other people uses, but it's apropos. A great athlete. Perhaps the best female athlete in the WWE. But Asuka finally gets a chance. Although she's been multi-time world champion, it's nice to see Asuka, who missed with the mist. It's like mist with the mist. Get it? And then when Bianca went to put her up in a backbreaker to give her the EST, Asuka still took out of her mouth the mist, had it on her fingers, stuck it into the eyes of Bianca Belair, and there we were for 1, 2, 3. Konnichiwa, bitches, as I said. And Asuka is your new Women's Raw Champion. Congratulations, Asuka. I'm a big fan and certainly respect and admire what you do in the ring. Let's see if they cannot screw this one up again. I'm just going to say that to say this because I tell it like it is. In another women's bout, there were 3 of them in Saudi Arabia. What are you trying to change the culture? That's the problem sometimes with the good old USA. Stop trying to push everything on everybody else, and now you let everybody do whatever they want over here. It's another story for another time. The SmackDown Women's title was on the line as mommy. No me joda maricón, muévete culo, pero pendejo. Well, no offense, man. Culo grande. Rhea Ripley in less than a minute over Natty Neidhart. Now, Natty's a legend. She looks great, although plenty of surgeries, I'm sure. No offense, man. I loved your father. I worked with him. But anyway, a solid worker, Natty Neidhart. A legend, a Hall of Famer. Less than a minute to travel over to Saudi Arabia to be pinned by Rhea Ripley. Ripley is the future of the women's division in the WWE. That's just my viewpoint, my opinion. One of the best workers in the business right now. Rhea Ripley and her gimmick and where we're going to go moving forward is unbelievable in my opinion. You got to love Rhea Ripley. They could have put up a little bit better of a match. This is where you get the throwaways when they go overseas. Say, listen, 10-year contract, hundreds of millions of dollars. I get it. So Rhea Ripley defends the SmackDown title. Brock Lesnar, the beast incarnate, legit badass, over Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare. I have a little bit to say about this match. First off, what's up with the broken arm? Is it real? Was he medically cleared? Who the fuck would medically clear somebody with a broken arm? Is it kayfabe? Is that what we're doing? A kayfabe injury here to make it look like he's going through more hard times and more of a struggle? What are we doing here? And then a former MMA champion, UFC heavyweight champion of the world, legit Brock Lesnar gets you in an armbar and a tap out move, a submission move, and Cody breaks it and gets to the ropes and fights it off for minutes and minutes and minutes. A guy with no experience in the cage, no experience in MMA as far as I know. Not fucking believable, not realistic, and it didn't sell or work for me. And then he doesn't even tap. He goes unconscious. Bullshit ending. The match wasn't brutal, but that was just total garbage for me. And if you don't like my opinions, I get it. I respect it. Leave a comment. You can change the channel if you don't like it. But really, as legit as Brock Lesnar is, this is how you use him. And perhaps a kayfabe, a broken arm, and a former world MMA heavyweight champion can't tap you out. There's a problem there. Poor writing, poor creative, poor ending. Brock Lesnar over Cody Rhodes. In a match that was perhaps the best match of the night, and the fallout with the Bloodline and the Samoan Dynasty, this was your main event. The reigning, defending, undisputed champion, Sami Zayn, over in Saudi Arabia. Who knew, right? Who knew? And KO Kevin Owens against the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, the undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns, and the Enforcer Solo Sikoa. Pehaoi melihini kane pupule wiki wiki mahalo. Well, aloha for that matter. This was a solid bout, a solid match. All workers are tremendous, and you knew that Jay and Jimmy were going to show up out of nowhere, and they did. And if you go back and you look at everything that happened tonight in Night of Champions over there in Saudi Arabia, Jay and Jimmy turned on Roman Reigns. They went to give a double super kick to Sami and KO, missed and knocked out Solo. While Roman was outside the ring looking up, and boy, did he get pissed. He sold it pretty well, went in there and challenged Jimmy and Jey Uso. And Uso turned on him. I think it was Jimmy. I'm pretty sure it was Jimmy or Jay, whichever one. All three are Rikishi's sons, Solo, Jimmy, and Jay. And you know my relationship with the big man, Junior, if you will. I'm blessed, brother. But the Bloodline, there's big trouble in Little Saudi, big trouble in Little Samoa, big trouble in Little China, big trouble in the WWE. Do you get it? The Bloodline looks like it's breaking up. Where are we going from here? Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn retained the titles as Sami pinned Solo Sikoa, his first pin in the WWE, I believe, after the double super kicks by the Usos. And then to have Jimmy, I think it was Jimmy, could have been Jay, doesn't matter, super kick Roman Reigns. We've been waiting for this for months, at least the fans. I haven't. I don't want to see the Bloodline. We're the ones. I don't want to see them break up. I love the storyline. I called it last year when Cody came in from AEW to the WWE that he wouldn't be winning the title. And Roman would certainly be holding on to it till WrestleMania 40. And it looks like my prediction is trending that way. This was a solid bout. And again, we know Roman has 1,000 days now as the champion. And we know the storyline between Sami and KO. And are you feeling Uzi now, baby? Are you feeling Uzi? This is the one reason, or one of the few reasons, besides Gunther, Gunther, the Bloodline, the Samoan Dynasty, of why I follow the WWE, besides to give you content, and that's my stress reliever. And this is a lifestyle. Let's face it. But that was the one reason. So let's see going forward. As Jimmy and Jay rolled out of the ring and they talked each other into, we the Usos now, it's our time. So where does that leave Solo? And of course we know with Heyman and Roman, he's still the champion, and the beat goes on. So overall, that was a little bit of a surprise, although we saw it coming. Asuka winning over Bianca, a little bit of a surprise. Everything else pretty much as panned out. Of course, Seth was predicted to win this title. He earned it. I mean, where do we go from here with Brock Lesnar and Cody? Kind of lost some momentum there. So, fans, that's my quick review and results from Night of Champions from the WWE over there in Saudi Arabia. Let's see if I have any other notes here. I told you about the top title reigns. I told you that NXT will be having a show tomorrow for the WWE. So, fans, thanks for being here. And I don't think there's anything I missed. I wanted to make this quick. We're coming up on about 25 minutes, that we'll keep this under a half an hour. This will be our WWE Night of Champions results and review show. But come back. Less than 5 minutos. 5 minutes for those here in the good old USA. I'll be back with the AEW Double or Nothing preview. Here on Chaos Corner with your old buddy, the Guardian of Chaos. Oh, come on back, man. Don't go anywhere. We're just getting started.